Okay, welcome back. We're looking at Jeremy Duff, Elements of New Testament Greek. We've got to the end of chapter 3. I'm just going to go through a couple of the example questions in the exercises A, look at number 1 and number 7, just to give you a feel for how I would approach these and give you some encouragement along the way. So here goes with number 1. He adelphe lege to Iesu kurie pistuo. He adelphe lege to Iesu kurie pistuo. Just a brief pronunciation note. Really discipline yourself here. Iesu, not Iesu. Iesu. This is not a diphthong. Remember, we've talked about that before. Okay, as always, let's just find the verb. He adelphe lege. Here's the verb. And also, to Iesu kurie pistuo. There's a verb. We've got 2 verbs in this sentence. So what do you do with that? Well, as a rule, if you've got 2 finite verbs, just start with the first one and see what that gives you, and try and sort the first one out before you move to the second. So this is very easy. Lege comes from lego, which means I speak, say, or tell. Lego, leges, lege, so it's third person singular, present indicative active. You don't know about that yet, don't worry about it, that will all make sense in a few chapters' time. Third person singular, meaning he, she, or it, let's say, speaks, or is speaking, or something of that kind. Speaks, says, tells, is speaking. Okay. Because it's third person singular, it could have a separately lexicalized subject. So can we find a noun in the nominative? Just look very briefly. Yeah, of course we can. We've got this one right here. He adelphe. And you remember from the last video, my little mnemonic to help you remember what this word means. Del. Think only fools and horses. Del and Rodney, 2 brothers, Del and Rodney. Adelphe means brother or sister. Well, it means sister because this is the feminine version. Adelphos, Del means brother. So adelphe, the sister. He adelphe, the sister. And so that takes the place of the subject included in the verb. So the sister speaks or is speaking. Verb, subject, object in the accusative. There's nothing in the accusative. Is there anything else? Well, yes, there is. There's this, and there's this, and there's the verb. So now what do we do? Well, first thing is, don't panic. Let's just translate these things one bit at a time and see where it leads us, and start with the thing that's closest to what you've just translated, because that's most likely to become next or be most relevant next. It's not certain to be, but it's got a reasonable chance of being relevant. So what does this mean? To Iesu. Well, you remember that Iesus has a unique grammatical form. It declines Iesus, Iesun, Iesu, Iesu. So this could be the genitive or the dative of Jesus, meaning of Jesus or to Jesus, but it's got the article in front of it, and the article is dative singular. And so because the article is dative, that's telling you that this is the dative ending. So it means to or for Jesus. So let's just now look at what we've got. The sister speaks or is speaking. Well, it's much more likely to be to Jesus than for Jesus, isn't it? And certainly that's the case in this instance with verbs of speaking, to, and something in the dative is going to be speaking to the person. So let's go with what Duff actually goes with. The sister is speaking to Jesus, or saying to Jesus. And then you've got something interesting going on here. Let's just highlight a few bits and pieces. You've got a punctuation mark, which, if you recall, is roughly equivalent to a semicolon. You've got another punctuation mark here, a comma. Then you've got a noun here. I'm going to pause for a second, let you pause the video. What can you tell me about that noun? A couple of interesting things about the way it's written. What can you tell me about it? Well, the first is it's got a capital letter, which indicates that it is either a proper name or it's at the beginning of direct speech. It doesn't indicate the beginning of a sentence in Greek. And Duff points out in a footnote in the book that this indicates the beginning of direct speech, which makes sense of the context. The sister is speaking or is saying to Jesus. Well, this is the content of what is being said. The other thing, of course, which is interesting about it, is to do with the case. This comes from kurios, meaning lord or teacher, or lord or sir or master. Kurios, kurion, kuriou, kurio. What's with kurie? You remember Kyrie is the fifth case, the vocative case, the case of address, which again makes complete sense. The sister is saying, probably to Jesus, Lord. This is what she is saying to Jesus. And therefore the way that we would punctuate this in English, as you know from your English grammar lessons, which you may or may not have had as a kid, is like that. Lord, comma. Then we get to pistuo. Well, maybe we should have looked at this first on the principle of always looking at the verbs first, but no harm done in this instance. Pistuo just means I believe. It's first person singular. I believe, which completes what it is that the sister is saying to Jesus. So here we've got the complete sentence. The sister is saying to Jesus, Lord, I believe. Adelphe lege to Iesu Kyrie pistuo. Okay, let's look at the second one, shall we? I'll get a different colour just so we don't get confused with the different words. Okay, here we go. Hi Adelphi, kai hoi Adelphoi. And look what I just missed out. Who spotted that? Go on, be honest. Did you spot that? See, I'm writing it in a hurry. I'm busy this morning. Hi Adelphi, kai hoi Adelphoi, teruse tus nomus kai ton sabaton. Okay, so this actually looks long. I chose it because I bet some of you looked at it and you thought, oh, it's really long, looks really complicated. This is actually one of the easiest sentences in this section to translate. Just look at it. Where's the verb? The verb is right here. Teruse comes from tereo, meaning I keep. Tero, teres, tere, terumen, terete, terusin. Well, you've learned terusin, and so maybe you're expecting to have a new there. Well, under the influence of classical Greek, the new is sometimes, perhaps often, left off when the next verb begins with a consonant. This is just a pronunciation thing. You shouldn't think of it as a different grammatical form. It's a little bit like the difference between a and an in English. We don't say a apple, we say an apple just because it's easier to say. Well, it's easier to say terusitus than terusintus in Greek. And so this means they, third person singular, are keeping. They are keeping. That's the verb. Subject, noun or nouns in the nominative. Well, you have a whole string of them here. Hoi, adelphoi, and hi, adelphi. Let me pause for a second, see if you can remember just from what we did previously, what these words mean. This means, of course, the sisters, nominative plural, hi, and the brothers, the sisters, and the brothers. And that takes the place of the subject which is implicit in the verb. So the sisters and the brothers are keeping. Verb, subject. What are we looking for next? Object. Nouns in the nominative. Can we find any of those? And yes, we can. You probably spotted this straight away. Ton sabaton. The Sabbath. Accusative singular. That means and. Again, very simple. Did you spot this as well? I hope you did, because this is the accusative plural, not the accusative singular. Hot ton tu to hoi tus. The and nomus, nomos, nomon, nomu, nomo, nomoi, nomus, nomon, nomois. The laws. The sisters and the brothers are keeping the laws and the Sabbath. Okay, well done for sticking to the end. Well done for not laughing too much at the fact I missed off the smooth breathing. Please don't like and tweet and share that with your friends. And keep working hard. God bless you all, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.